Welcome back. We're wrapping up our discussion on the results and analysis of the recent Quebec provincial election held October 3rd, 2022. And joining me again is Richard Decarie. Richard, Quebec, like many provinces in Canada, there is a urban and rural divide. And you have, the Montreal bastion, perhaps the Quebec City bastion, but then there's like the eastern townships and the rural communities around. The winning party usually picks up a lot of the urban seats, but that wasn't the case in this election. Francois Legault, the premier, he only got 2 seats in Montreal. Why is this?
First of all, like I said before, the Bill 96 was a big thing among the Anglophone community. We have...
maybe explain to our viewers what Bill 96 was. I remember what it was, but some of our viewers might not remember what Bill 96 is.
It was a big thing before COVID because it was... The main factor was that the government legislated about the fact that you're not allowed to be masked or to have any religious, apparel if you are a teacher or a policeman or something like that. So for them, it was like an attack of their freedom of religion. That's mainly what it was. So we fought for many years against having a mask to do anything. But since COVID, everybody was masked. So it kind of became an irrelevant issue. But for the Anglophone community, mainly with a lot of migration or ethnic groups, they felt that they were attacked directly by the CAQ government. But that was in 2018 at the last election. And it never changed for the past 4 years because, like I said, this CAQ government just continued governing like if they had not taken any promises at the last election. They just continue doing their own thing. So they didn't care about this particular market. And that's where now the Liberal Party of Quebec is concentrated with 21 elected MPs with the same amount of votes of a party like the PCQ was none elected at all.
Yes, it's the Parti Libéral de Québec. They kind of control Montreal, if you will, or they're representing Montreal fully. And that's interesting to note. As you know, you've worked for Quebec Premier. Historically, let's say for the last 50 years or so, we've really just seen Liberal Party Quebec premiers. And now, why did things shift to the CAQ, the Coalition Avenir de Québec?
Because the CAQ is the new name for the Liberal Party of Quebec. That's... First of all, the leader of the Liberal Party of Quebec used to be the chair of the CAQ party. So she was from the Bilderberg group. She was from the Davos group. So I think personally that she was moved ahead of the Parti Libéral du Québec just to neutralize it and to ensure that they have all the votes from the liberal parties that go towards the CAQ. And that's exactly what happened. And the Parti Québécois being almost dead, it left them, the complete capacity to go all the way to 90 seats. And that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. So, we have about 1 minute and 20 seconds left before we have to go, and that's all. What do you anticipate will happen legislatively in Quebec for the upcoming year and the upcoming couple of years, I suppose?
The main thing will be the digital ID. That will be the next thing from the Legault government. The Legault government wants to be the first of its class following the Davos plan of controlling population. So what we are seeing across Canada with the Trudeau government, we've seen it with the Ford government in Ontario, and we've seen Jason Kenney getting kicked out of government in Alberta because he was following the same agenda. So I think Legault will want to take the lead about that. And they've invested in a big computer system that would centralize all the information of every Quebecers. And eventually it will be applied in Ontario the same way. And it won't be long that all Canadians will be subjected to digital ID from everything that they do. And we are getting closer and closer to the China government with their social credit system.
Wow. Yes. Well, we've covered that kind of anticipation of the digital ID, and obviously we're going to keep a closer eye on that, and we'll see if Quebec is the province who's going to lead the way on that. Richard, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Interesting and lively analysis of that 2022 provincial Quebec election. Clearly, the CAQ has a large mandate and an increased mandate to govern Quebec. Will the issues outlined before percolate? We'll have to see, with the Conservatives increasing their foothold in terms of popular votes. We'll see what that would mean for the average Quebec voter. For Counterpoint, I'm